and trying to expand yourself through being consciously flexible. And that, in this instance, is the ability to not hold on to that, but go, well, what if something else was possible? What if that wasn't true? That would be interesting. And then you open yourself up to everything and anything to appear.
Yeah.
Miracles, magic, wonder,
Yeah.
better relationships, happier, whatever.
Well, things that you can't even imagine, things
That's
that you
exactly
don't
right.
even know are possible for you,
That's exactly
are
right.
then possible when you
That's
are
right.
that flexible. Welcome to Galactic Guidance, the show that channels the wisdom of beings from higher realms. Join us as we tap into the cosmic consciousness and receive messages of clear guidance to help us navigate our spiritual evolution on planet Earth. So sit back, relax, and let's connect into the higher frequency. Hello, Marcus.
Hello, Eleni.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Galactic Guidance. Very excited to see what Ameed will be bringing in today's session.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
How about we get right into it, Marcus?
Right into it. Okay. You've got some questions, I'm sure.
We'll just see what happens.
Maybe. All right, let's get into it. All right.
So if this is your first episode watching Galactic Guidance and you don't know what Marcus is doing, he's actually connecting into a higher dimensional being called Ameed, who is from another star system, from an advanced planet. She's a female energy, and every single episode we interview and have a discussion with Ameed. She comes in with some profound galactic insights that are universal for all of us. And so Marcus has been doing this for over 3 decades. You need to watch the first episode to find out as to how this all came about. And whenever she's ready to come through, we're going to hear Marcus speak in a different tone and take on the energy of Ameed.
This is of the march of the welcoming and to this of the sacredness of this of the moment. We are much of the excitement to being of the speaking with the Miss of the Eleni. This is much of the excitementness. And we be feeling into of the energetic of the resonance of you, Miss Eleni. It is much of the beautifulness and of the stability, much of beautifulness. We are much of the excitement to be speaking with you in this in this space, in this of the moment.
I am very excited to be speaking to you too. So, Ameed, today I was wondering whether, and I'm sure that whatever message comes through is going to be universal for whoever is listening at this moment. So it's not just going to be applicable for me. I'm wondering whether you have a personal message.
There is much of the messages that we wish to be of the sharing with you. As you being of the knowing, Miss Eleni, we are here to be of the what you be considering of the mentorship and the supportship of assisting you to be in of the expansion of the universal construct, to assist you to be of the powerfulness to step into of the next dimension of the reality. As you be of the awareing, Miss Eleni, there is an expansive nature to the universal truth of this, of the cosmic experience, and that all of the universe is being in of the expansion. And you are much of the part of this, of the expansion, and we are here to be of the assistance with you in this of the expansion. One thing we have been of talking about is of the consciousness reality of the existence. And within this, we wish to be sharing with you the what we be of the calling the consciousness flexibility. One of the aspects that would be good for you to be of the practicing of is the consciousness of the flexibility. You'd be thinking that of the consciousness is of the brainscape, is of the smartness, but this is not what we are being a meaning of with the consciousness. We are wishing for you to be of the connected into the universal fabric, into the universal resonant frequency, and the fabric of universal construct. And the way you be of the doing this is through consciousness, in particular of the consciousness technology that we have been speaking of about. Within this is about having of the consciousness flexibility. This flexibility is your opportunity to be shifting and of the changing your consciousness in reference to the resonant fields that are being surrounding you and being within and without of you, to be able to be of the responding to what is being of the happening at a universal construct level. When you are being with of the consciousness flexibility, you are able to be moving of the resonant frequencies within the construct of the dimensional reality, so that you can be much more be of the effectiveness in the manifestation in the master creator status, to be of the materializing all of what you be considering of the dreams and of the desires. We think is much of the funniness, because these of the dreams and desires are in line with the universal construct. And you'd be thinking that is just of physical matter that you would be dreaming and of the desiring of. You are thinking that money is just a dream of the money on an earthly experience. But you must be of the remembering that even of the dreaming and of the desiring of more of the money aspect is a resonant connection into the universal construct of the reality. You will be moving and expanding the money construct. And when you'll be using of the consciousness flexibility, you'll be able to shift and of the changing of the money construct, so that you can be much more expanded in your materialization of this, of the dream and of the desire. Remembering that the money concept is trapped between two-dimensional realities. One of the dimensional realities is the construct of the earthly level of the interchange and interaction, the transactions of your reality scape. The other aspect of this is the dimensional construct that this component of your earthly, of the experience is connected with. That the money aspect is just of the energetic quality. It is a resonant field. This resonant field has of the consciousness to be of the exchange of the things that you're being of the exchanging, but it also has the consciousness ability to be of the expanding into of the next dimension of the reality scape. You must be understanding every aspect of your experience has that ability to not just be created in the physical construct of the earthly experience, but also to assist in the expansion at a cosmic level of experience into the next dimension of the reality scape. Therefore, you are much of the master creators, and therefore can be of the materializing any aspect of what you be calling of your dream and desire in alignment with of the cosmic nature of the dimensional reality that you're being of the existing in. But to be able to be of the doing of this, you need of the consciousness flexibility. You need to be able to move of the consciousness to be in of the what you be of the calling of the quantum nature of the reality. We be calling this of the resonant frequencies and the resonant field of the reality, so that you can be of moving of your consciousness to be in of the creation of all of your what you be calling of the dreams and of the desire scape.
So what I'm hearing is it's all surrounding this consciousness flexibility. Can you give me a practical example of activating consciousness flexibility?
You be of the thinking that of the consciousness is just of the awareness of your mindscape of the reality, but this is not of the truthness. The consciousness is much more of what you be considering of the full body experience of the connection into the universal construct of the reality. The consciousness flexibility is to be able to move through the various of the resonant fields that you're existing in, and to be able to settle into the most expansive, the most of the awareness experience of your existence. Sometimes you're being of the caught in your mindscape consciousness, where you are holding many of the disharmonic, dysfunctional untruth of your collective entrained reality that has been part of your existence for many of the earthbound of the years. And what we're asking for you to do is to expand about much of the past this into of the full body consciousness awareness. When you are in this of the full body consciousness awareness, you can be much more of the flexibility to connect into of the truth of any particular of the situation in any of the moments, but you are connecting into much more of the universal truthness, not just of the mindscape of the truthfulness, not just of the heartscape of the truthfulness, but of the full body, cosmic aligned, cosmically connected of the truthfulness. Within that, you can be much more of the moving of the resonant frequencies within of the consciousness construct. Therefore, the consciousness flexibility is assisting you to be able to move into more of the alignment, more of the harmonic resonant pattern, regardless of what is happening in of the mindscape, regardless of what is being of the happening within of the heartscape. You have the ability to be what you'd be calling in of the flowness. Therefore, consciousness technology and also the consciousness flexibility to be of the accessing that technology is very much like you are being in of the flow state that many of you be of the talking about. But this is of the consciousness flow state. This is of the consciousness connection to the cosmic reality. This is not of the what might be of the looking of the hardness of the or the inflexibility of the mindscape of the consciousness or of the heartscape of the consciousness. These aspects are very of the inflexibility. They do not have of the flexibility that we are considering of the whole body consciousness does be having. Therefore, it's much harder to be connecting into the cosmic reality, very much harder to be connecting into the universal of the truthness, because of the universal of the truthness aligns with the your of the truthness. Therefore, there is a symbiotic, harmonic resonance between you and of the cosmic reality, between you and the universe. There is a much more of a stable connection that you will be of the experiencing. You must remember that your mindscape consciousness and your heartscape consciousness are very much of the influenced. And therefore, as they have been of the influence, they are very much of the inflexibility. They are very, what you'd be calling of the rigidness. They are like much of the like rocks. They are not like, or maybe you consider of the frozen water, whereas the full body of the consciousness is much like of the waterness. You can be in of the flow of that waterness, and therefore you can be of the shifting and of the moving and be open to much more of the expansive nature of the consciousness of the reality scape.
Lovely. So what I'm hearing is that really it's we're in a time and space now where we need to be aware of the beliefs that we're holding, the thoughts that we're holding, and just go with the flow, let it go, and be flexible. Be flexible with whatever arises, like whatever is presented in that present moment, just go with it.
This will be of the allowing of you to be of the within of the expansive nature of the universal construct. This is of the flow of the universe, which is of the constant of the expansion. The dimensional existences are being of the constantly expanding. You are constantly being in the expansion and being in the evolutionary construct of evolving into the and be of the next dimensional reality. But to be of the assistance in this process, you must be having of the consciousness flexibility. If you are not being of the conscious flexibility, then you will find it much more of the hardness. you will be experiencing much more of what you be calling of the painness. You will find it much more difficult, much more hardness to step into and be of the next dimension of the reality scape. This is why we're bringing of this message to you, because as you are being in the moving in this moment, the more of the flexibility that you can have, the more of the releasing of what you'd be calling of the rigidness, the easier, much more what you are being loving, which is of the happiness. You will be much more experiencing of the happiness and of the joyness as you be of the transition into and be of the next dimension of the reality scape.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ameed. So whenever you're ready to bring Marcus back, let's bring him back.
Much of the blessingness, much of the blessingness, and we be of the feeling into you are of the experience, Miss Eleni. There is a new piece of the light, a new piece of the joyness that we are being of the feeling within you. This is much making of the happiness, much making of the joyness, much of the love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, hi.
Hello. She was very complimentary to me today.
Wow, that's nice. That's always nice. Hey, always nice.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. She's so beautiful. I love her. I love her so much. I love her so much.
Yeah, and they just, I mean, the interesting part about her and, all of these sort of beings is they're just constantly responding to sort of these resonant frequencies and resonant fields they sense within individuals and collective, and do you know what I mean? So I find that the messages come through perfectly for the people who are listening. They already know the energies that are collecting around this recording or this, thing that we're doing. We call it a podcast, but this. Yeah. So it's kind of fascinating. So they're always responding to that.
Yeah, and the topic that she brought up today, which I left up to her, was about consciousness flexibility. So, like the more that we're flexible with whatever occurs in our present moment, the less pain and the less suffering we have. It's just about, just going with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. An example that happened with me this week is that a few weeks ago I had planned a couple of jobs from the builders to do at this house in Melbourne whilst I'm here.
Yeah.
So it was planned weeks ago. And yesterday I was notified that it's too hot for them to come. Yeah. So, and really I think the past version of me would have been like, because we blocked out the clinic calendar.
Oh, God.
Like I'm dealing with multiple people. We had to work around it. But really, when I got notified late last night that they weren't coming tomorrow, it was like, that's okay. Well, what am I going to do about that? Like, I can't force the guys to come, so there's no point saying, but there's going to be air conditioning. Like, there's no point. They don't want to come. I don't want anybody to come if they don't want to come. So I have to just go with the flow.
And I think that consciousness technology is sort of doing exactly what you're saying. It's just fitting into the flow of what's going on, the resonant patterns and resonant fields of what's going on. And it doesn't mean you give in to everything. That's not what this is about. But it's about not them playing stories in the head consciousness or the heart consciousness, or playing other, more solid things like bias and other things that are sort of have stuck within you through learned responses over years, and being able to be way more in flow and flexible with the way
Can you give an example, Marcus, of what you just said? You just said something important, which was biases that have been stuck within us over many years. Can you just give because Ameed talked about the concept from a high level. Can you just bring it down to practical terms in terms of a practical example?
Yeah. So I think, we all carry biases, we all know that. And whether we're conscious of them or not is irrelevant. We all have biases. And even if we try not to, it's impossible not to have a bias. So I think consciousness flexibility in this respect is to bring awareness to those biases and not necessarily let them influence what's happening and how you're playing, your life. And one of the words I like to use, especially if I see it in others, because obviously, working with other people or even in myself, I ask the question, but what if it were possible? Like, what if that wasn't, or what if that wasn't true, right? And I question the truth of it through the words of possibility, or is that true? Is that real? Or is it not real? And what if it wasn't real? What if it was something totally else? What if it was even something that I don't have in my thoughts or my heart? I don't know. What if I opened up to the possibility that it could be something totally different that I haven't even considered? And this is a bit the consciousness flexibility, I think, is that we get so rigid in our thinking and our beliefs and our feelings and our assessment and our biases, and they're so automated that we don't actually sit back and just go, but what if what I just thought or felt is not real? What if it's not real? What if it's something totally different? And then you start to step into the infinite possibility of things, right? And so conscious flexibility allows us to step in that infinite possibility. When we step into the infinite possibility, we can create things beyond our wildest dreams. We can materialize and manifest things quickly and easily and all those sort of fun things that we keep talking about as humans. That just tends to happen. So moving past, in this case, the bias, the consciousness bias that we run, and trying to expand yourself through being consciously flexible. And that, in this instance, is the ability to not hold on to that, but go, well, what if something else was possible? What if that wasn't true? That would be interesting. And then you open yourself up to everything and anything to appear.
Yeah.
Miracles, magic, wonder, better relationships, happier, whatever.
Well, things that you can't even imagine, things
That's
that you
exactly
don't
right.
even know are possible for you.
That's
are
exactly right.
then possible when you
That's
are
right.
that flexible.
Correct. That's exactly right. And I think that's what she's trying to help us to be, because we are very rigid. And I know in personal conversations with her, she gets a bit of a laugh out of that. She thinks that's hilariously funny. But for us, it can feel like a struggle sometimes, and it can feel difficult, and I think it can cause all sorts of pain when we're just in that rigidness, and not as flexible as we could be.
I also think that the more we let go and the more flexible we are, it's like that muscle that the next time something happens, we just, that becomes our default pattern, that we're just open,
Correct.
we're flexible,
We're just
we're
open.
not
Exactly.
tied to a particular way or a particular way of doing things or something happening in a certain way. So yes, lots of messages for everybody there in terms of staying flexible, being open, not being committed to a particular way. And then when that happens, who knows what's possible for you? Anything might be possible.
Anything and everything.
And everything. Thank you so much, Marcus and Ameed, for bringing today's message.
Thank you, everybody. Ciao.
Big love. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Guidance. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.